This video was sponsored by Enhance, NeoWatt, A Better Road Planner, Elbilmek, Kempower and Bilkomponenter. Yo, what's up? Today I'm going to show you guys the new charging curve of the BYD Atto 3. It is the wonderful 800 volt architecture. It charges way faster than the old Atto 3. And remember that this Atto 3 is the most affordable all-wheel drive in Norway. So it's really good bang for the bucks, but how fast does it charge? Well, I'm going to show you. So we compare it against a C-Line 7, which is more expensive, and then also the old Atto 3, and then we just have a bunch of BYDs now, just to show you guys how fast it is. But actually for the Atto 3 Evo and the C-Line 7, I couldn't get any CAN bus data, so that's why we don't have any battery temperature. But you can kind of guess what the battery temperature is. Maybe seal is similar to the C-Line 7 Atto 3 when it comes to cooling, right? But you can see that I didn't hit the 220 kilowatt on this session, at least that is claimed, but I did hit it when I did 1,000 kilometer challenge. However, in that session when I hit 220 kilowatt, it was usually at around 25-30% rapid gate. Yes, it rapid gates. What the heck? Yes, you can kind of get an idea when you see the seal. The seal was charging kind of, I mean, it was a bit hot and high delta between min and max. And that's usually what happens when you want to get maximum speed on the Atto 3 Evo. You get the high speed in the beginning, but then the speed plummets. I will show you eventually. It will also kind of drop a lot on the Atto 3 Evo. But you can see the old Atto 3 is not very fast. Only 85 kilowatt flat, kind of flat, yeah, boring 191 amp max. So in the new Atto 3 is actually a lot better in terms of speed. But okay, what about C-Line? Yeah, C-Line was the one with the upgraded charging speed. So I don't know what else they did in the C-Line. It's probably a bigger batteries and can actually go faster. But typically here at around 55% is where you will see the first drop usually, right? But in this case, in the Atto 3 Evo, I didn't get the drop there. And it was mainly because I don't know, I preheated the battery for maybe an hour, or at least half an hour. And you know, the car was still preheating. I was like, huh, how long is it going to take, man? So it seems like preheating power is quite low here. So it takes forever to heat it up. Plus, that we probably need to also help heat it up by hammering it. So this session was actually a cold-gated session. But eventually you will see that it will throttle. But this is actually amazingly fast. Amazingly flat curve on the Evo. There it starts throttling, and usually this is what happens when it rapid gates. But I think this is more like a natural throttle. Well, actually, I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, usually when it rapid gates, I will get 90 kilowatt. This time when I get 82, it sounds like it's a natural throttle. And how hot is the battery now? I would guess if you look on the old Atto 3 and seal that the battery might be at somewhere between the max temp, somewhere between 48 to 50 degrees Celsius. Yeah, just wild guess. But then once it naturally throttles, then it has to go slower anyway. But yeah, I forgot to mention it that the C-Line actually hit 80% first, and then the new Atto 3 hit 80% as a second. And the new Atto 3 is actually way faster than the seal. Very impressive. Seal is, I don't know, it's more expensive, but it's a sedan, you know, different there. But also that's kind of all recording. So just to show you, if you wait a couple of years, the updated version is actually a lot better. So overall, really impressive how the charging in the Atto 3 Evo is. However, yes, I mentioned it, and I should mention it again when it comes to rapid gate, is that this charging session you see here on the Evo is more or less like best case. But it depends. If you're driving through Norway and you need to drive slow anyway, or if it's cold-ish outside, especially there, and if it takes a long time before you charge the next time, right? You have to drive several hours, let's say 3-4 hours before you charge the next time, then you can actually achieve the same charging curve. However, if you do like I did, hammer it, and it was not that hot or cold even, it was only around 8 degrees Celsius during 1,000 kilometer challenge, it will rapid gate. Giving the car only 1 hour to cool down the battery is simply not enough, simply because these blade batteries, they don't have liquid running through them. They have cooling plate, and they actually don't use coolant to reach the coolant plate. There, C-line 7 already hit 100%. They use actually AC refrigerant, you know, to cool down the battery. So it's inefficient, and also maybe it's not easy to show here, but the Evo, just like the other BYDs, they actually run significant power to cool down. Maybe, let's say 2 to 4 kilowatt just to cool down the battery. And it's not even cooling down that heavily. So in a way, it is actually somewhat inefficient. I did a charging test. Actually, this charging session you see here, I charged to 100%. Took a while, but then I look at how many kilowatt hour we receive from the battery versus when we discharge the car, how many kilowatt hour the car reported. And I measured like a whopping 12 to 15% loss. It was crazy how inefficient it was. Most cars, when you DC fast charge, there is of course cooling going on, maybe some heating also, like Tesla. They might have around 10% loss, yeah, even on DC charging. So yeah, okay, whatever. But yeah, at this point it goes kind of slow. The C-line was impressively fast. Atto 3 was actually faster, at least in the beginning, to 100%, but then towards the end now, then they kind of fall in the same path. But if you look at the charging curve here, the red line here is the Evo 3, the non-rapid gate. It's actually cold gating it a bit, but it's super nice and flat. And then here we have the seal of, I don't know what this is. Was it a thermal throttle? Possibly, yeah. Actually, when you look at, I didn't pay attention to the seal too much. But there's the all Atto 3. So actually, it's kind of funny because if you would go hotter with the red line, right, you will usually hit 200 or 180 something up here, but then it will drop earlier. But even in the rapid gate state of the red line or the new Atto 3, it still charges a little bit faster. It hovers around 85 to 90 kilowatt when the rapid gates. So in a way, yeah, it's not ideal. Okay, this is kind of laughable compared to many other 800 volt cars out there. But just given that this car costs only 390k NOK and you get all-wheel drive and bigger battery and all the goodies, you get actually pretty good soundproofing also. Then I would say it's still good performance for that kind of price. But yeah, I know the C-line is quite fast, and I don't know why C-line can go faster. Maybe because they have actually the C-line has 2 cooling plates, the same supposedly as the new Evo or the Atto 3, whereas the old has only 1 cooling plate. That's what I heard from the importer in Norway. So yeah, but I mean overall though, I'm really impressed of the charging performance, and in general the performance of the Atto 3. It's fast, it's actually fairly quiet, space more or less the same except for the front, but you know, this is about the charging, right? So if you want to upgrade to the Atto 3, if you have the old Atto 3, it's just like almost everything is better. You get all-wheel drive, way faster acceleration, way faster charging, bigger battery, more range, and despite that it's all-wheel drive, it doesn't take that big penalty in efficiency. Actually, you have maybe slightly more consumption only. So it seems like maybe they have upgraded something else to make it like that, because usually all-wheel drive will consume a little bit more. I've seen it even in Tesla. So overall though, really good car for the money, charging wise also. That's going to be it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching and talk to you later.